Rather lads, welcome back to Kosi's Arsenal podcast. My name is Kosi. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in all parts of the world. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to a brand new video. We are still diving into the latest around Arsenal. Mikhailo Mudryk is becoming Mikhailo Mudryk. The people at Shakhtar have been flirting again. They've been speaking again, and this time they're flirting with Napoli. We're going to be talking about Declan Rice in this video. Chelsea, Arsenal, all interested. The player wants UCL, which Arsenal could have by the end of the season. And most importantly, he wants to stay in London. We'll be talking about that. We're going to be talking about Joao Felix as well. It looks like Thomas Partey has done a pretty much good job by convincing him to join Arsenal. However, the price and the terms have not yet been agreed between Arsenal and Atletico Madrid. We also have some nominees for the December-November months, including Mikel Arteta, Manager of the Month, Saka, Odegaard, also nominated for Player of the Month, and of course, Edin Nketiah's goal has been nominated against that goal against West Ham as well. So we're going to be talking much about in this video. Hit the like button, subscribe to the podcast as well. Like I always say, if you want the latest around Arsenal, if you want to know anything about the club, this is the right place to be. Go onto YouTube, search for Kosi's Arsenal podcast, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and then you will know whatever is happening around the club. Now, let's start off with the nominees. Mikel Arteta has been nominated for Manager of the Month, November/December. They have combined the awards. Premier League have actually combined the awards. A few other managers that I've looked at include the manager at Brentford, I think, and a few other managers. But I think Mikel Arteta is a very, very strong contender because up to now, our team is still on top of the table, right? Have we lost a game in November? No. Have we lost a game in December? No. So we've only dropped, points in January. So maybe there could be a slight opportunity for Mikel Arteta to win it. And I think this season, he might win many awards, Manager of the Month awards. It might actually mean as many as there is. He's been absolutely brilliant in changing games, in preparing for games, in how we start games, the amount of goals we're scoring, the way we are defending, the passion, the charisma, the enthusiasm you see Arsenal play with. That is all courtesy of Mikel Arteta. So does he deserve to win Manager of the Month? For me, he deserves to win Manager of the Season so far, all right? Now, the other nominees we have in the team include Bukayo Saka and Martin Odegaard. However, Odegaard looks like a very, very strong contender for this award. 3 goals and 3 assists across November and December in the Premier League. And of course, remember, he has scored a very, very beautiful goal against Brighton. Actually, I thought that goal would be nominated for Goal of the Month December. It was good. I don't know if I'm a little bit deluded, but I feel like it was so good. The way he hit that ball into the ground, and then just to make sure that it doesn't go too high, just make sure that he keeps it away from the goalkeeper. It was a nice shot. It was a really, really good shot. I think his technical ability is also growing by the day. His confidence is growing by the day. Best Arsenal player for now. By a mile, really, without Gabriel Jesus on the pitch. So Saka is a no-brainer. His English is always going to be acknowledged when he does very, very good things. But November, December, those are the months where he has been absolutely beautiful. And I'm going to say this. I won't be very surprised if Saka wins it based on the performances he put in at the World Cup. Now, don't get me wrong. This is a Premier League award because we know the English, don't we? They always nominate someone because they're English. They will always nominate someone and give him that award because he is English. And for me, Saka, November, December, again, beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. He scored in almost each and every game we played in December. Okay, there were 2 games, but he scored in both of them. And he had a massive, massive impact in both of those games. And you could see in that Newcastle game, Arsenal struggled a little bit because Saka struggled a little bit as well, and Martinelli. Now, the other player that I thought should be on the list is Gabriel Martinelli. When are we going to start recognizing this guy? When are we going to start putting enough respect on his boy's name? Gabriel Martinelli must be nominated for Player of the Month November, December. He has scored, just like Saka, he scored in each and every game we played in that month, almost. And it kind of baffles me. But of course, the fact that Saka is English, the fact that Saka is creating more chances, more goal scoring opportunities than any other player in his age bracket, just sets him apart. But anyway, that's it. Goal of the month, we have a nominee, and that is Edin Nketiah's goal against West Ham. That was a typical striker goal, wasn't it? And he was trying to recreate it against Newcastle, just that the trick actually didn't actually fall for him. But yeah, that was a good goal. That was a really, really, really good goal. So talk to me about that goal. Was it exquisite? Was it absolutely exquisite? I need to know. Now, the people at Shakhtar won't just shut up. They've been speaking again. And I don't know what we're going to do to get this deal done quickly, because I'm really getting fed up of these people. Now, they've been speaking, that is, the director actually has been speaking to Calcio Napoli 24, another news outlet in Italy, and he said, we are not in a hurry to sell Mikhailo Modric. We don't need money. We consider Mikhailo Modric stronger than Antony, so you can now understand the value. That is what he told Calcio Napoli. But of course, I'm going to be diving deeper into this. First and foremost, he has also said during the same interview, that is an excerpt from Fabrizio Romano, but he has also said during the same interview that Napoli have actually approached them about the signature of Mikhailo Modric. That is number one. Number two, he says that they've told Napoli 100 million euros, and Napoli seem shocked. And he actually he has attacked all Italian clubs for not taking opportunities to sign players when they still have the chance to sign them at a low fee. Interesting. Quite very, very interesting here. Very interesting things. One, they're not in a hurry to sell. They do not need money. So they can literally flirt with anyone. That is what they're doing here. And then they have received official interest from Napoli, and they're working to see if they can get the deal done between them and Napoli. Interesting. Very, very interesting. So I said this in the earlier show, that what these Prats are doing is they're trying to draw all names possible to this deal, all big names possible to this deal, so that Arsenal increase their money. Now, let's say this as well. Arsenal still in discussions, this is according to Charles Watch, Arsenal still in discussions to add more money to the table and increase the upfront fee. However, Arsenal will not be engaged in a bidding war. Okay? We understand that our valuation is still way below what Shakhtar want. We also understand that there could be an opportunity where increasing the upfront figure might actually trigger Shakhtar's ability to sell. However, we are not entering a bidding war. If Napoli and Chelsea are serious about bidding high amounts of money for the guy, then Arsenal will be out of it. That is a simple reminder, right? So, look, this is what I'm going to say here. What Napoli have done is literally taking their chances, right? So they have told Arsenal, this is the amount of money you have. Let's check in with other people. If no one gives us more money than you are giving us, then we will do the deal. All right. Now, why Arsenal still pushing and still desperate in this situation? One is the player has been our priority since the summer. But then number two, we need to get the deal done quickly. And Mikel Arteta wants the deal to be done very fast, and Mikel Arteta wants this deal to be done and dusted within the next almost 48 hours. That is why Edu is pushing in more money, pushing in more bids, and trying to structure and restructure the deal. Otherwise, I don't think this is a deal that Arsenal would be desperate about if it was in the summer. You see what we did with Gabriel Jesus, Alexander Zinchenko, Martin Odegaard. You let these deals, mature with time. And what happens when you let the deal mature with time is Shakhtar will get a little bit desperate. It will affect their dressing room at some point in time. And then they will call you and say, hey, just pay up. All right? Just pay up. Now, if he has rejected coming to Chelsea, Mikhailo Modric, I don't see him go to Napoli. Yeah, Napoli have a very good project. They're doing very well. They have the likes of, Vicha Varasheria, who I think is one of the best wingers in the world. Actually, I don't know about this, but I think Arsenal could test the waters, go to Napoli, and place maybe 90 million euros for Vicha Varasheria, because Vicha is worth 90 million euros, right? Get 90 million euros, place it on the table for Napoli, and maybe Napoli could listen. I've got a feeling if it is not Arsenal, if it is not a big club from the UK, Mikhailo Modric would be walking for 50 million euros. I'm sorry to say this, but that is what I feel. That is my gut feeling. If it is Torino trying to buy him, if it is AC Milan trying to buy him, this guy would be 50 million euros. He's not better than Rafa Leao. He's not better than Vicha Varasheria right now. For me, top winger one of the top wingers in the world. I think he's at that level of Jeremy Pino, the Spanish boy. The other Williams again, the Spanish. That is the level where Mikhailo Modric is. He's just had a few glimpses of quality, and all players do have those glimpses of quality. We've not seen him for 5 years on the stage doing it. Right? And he's not done it at a bigger club. If it was Vicha Varasheria, I would agree, because he's come from Georgia and he's made Napoli a hard team to beat. Actually, he's made Napoli title contenders with almost 10 points above on the table, right? So if anyone says Vicha Varasheria is 100 million euros, you listen. But Mikhailo Modric is not worth that money. But anyway, now they have thrown Napoli into it. This won't work. I mean, this actually won't work. Napoli don't have the money to spend, don't have that 100 million euros to spend. And even if they had, the last two windows have actually showed us that Napoli want to become a proper side just like Arsenal. They've realized that signing Gonzalo Higuain for this crazy amount of money is not the way to go, right? You've got to go back to the basics and sign nice young players that have the ability, that have the future, that have the prospect of developing. And that's what they've done. And look at their project. Look at what they've done in the UEFA Champions League to Liverpool and to Ajax. Look at that team. Victor Osimhen, nice guy. The likes of Peter Zelinski. I'm just looking at that team and I'm like, if there is a model every team needs to adapt, that is the Napoli model. They are absolutely flying right now. So I don't think this guy will be going to Napoli. I don't think he will be going to Napoli. Let's wait and see what comes out of Chelsea and Shakhtar negotiations, right? Let's wait and see. Because what I also know about Chelsea is that they tried to hijack the release clause of Enzo Fernandez, and somehow they failed. They don't want to pay in excess of 100 million euros for these guys. So maybe they want to pay 80 million euros. Maybe. Right? And Arsenal don't want to pay 80 million euros. Maybe that could be the difference. Let's wait and see. Now, the other story that is actually trending right now is from Declan Rice. And sources are saying that Declan Rice is a player Arsenal admire. That's according to Ben Jacobs. Declan Rice is a player Arsenal admire. He will be available in the summer. He's not signing a new deal. And West Ham have resigned to the idea that he will be leaving them. 70 to 75 million euros is what they'll be looking at. Chelsea still front runners. However, these are the two determinants of this deal. Number one, the player wants UCL football. Chelsea are highly likely, I'm sorry to say this, Chelsea are highly likely not to make it to UEFA Champions League football unless otherwise. It's not kind of a banter or something, but I'm trying to say that they are not yet there unless they have a dramatic turnaround in the second part of the season. Okay, then the player also wants to stay in London. That favors Arsenal. That also favors Chelsea as well. Now, Mikel must be a very big fan of Declan Rice because we've seen Pep sign Calvin Phillips. The difference between Declan Rice and Calvin Phillips for me is Declan does more. Declan offers more. Okay. I think he's a leader at that age. I think he's so hardworking. But maybe Calvin Phillips is a little bit more technical as a player. I don't know. Let me know in the comment section. I could be deluded. But I think Declan Rice is a top guy. I've said that on my Twitter. I've tweeted that. He's a top guy. So the rest between Declan and the rest for Declan is between Arsenal and Chelsea for now. But I still anticipate come the summer, there are going to be bigger clubs interested. If Liverpool don't get Jude Bellingham or Enzo Fernandez, I'm sure they will come in for Declan. There is nothing that hurts for City to come and throw their name in there. Manchester United as well could throw their name in there as well, and a few other teams. But I think if Arsenal don't sign a number 6 in January, then we will massively be interested in signing Declan Rice. I don't want to say much about this one. I've told you the conditions, I've told you the money, and I've told you that West Ham will be selling, right? Because the player will either have to be sold or leave on a free. It will depend on West Ham. And lastly, Thomas Partey is still doing a very nice job in terms of convincing Joao Felix to join Arsenal. It will remain now between Arsenal and Atletico Madrid, with reports coming out saying that Man United and Arsenal could both get their hands on the player for 10 million euros a loan fee. So let's wait and see what's going to come out of there as well. Be sure to follow me on TikTok, Kossis Arsenal Podcast, Instagram, Kossis Arsenal Podcast, Twitter, Kossi Arsenal, YouTube, Kossis Arsenal Podcast. And I'll speak to you in the next one. Right.